One day, Vince McMahon woke up and said, I have an amazing idea for WrestleMania. You know that game, Fork Knife? You know, the one of them battle royales. What if we do that? But it's our superstars fighting hand in hand to be number one. We'll shoot them out of cannons, and there will be super moves, and fried chicken that drops into the ring. No, a whole city-wide arena, and it will be the greatest ratings we'd have in years. And Triple H is just like, sounds like that's good for business. And that's how I feel the concept for Rumbleverse came to be in universe. This unique battle royale was taken from us just after 6 months, and I became rather emotionally attached. Yeah, that's just not fair. So I've taken it upon myself to memorialize the game in several videos at the detriment to all the other ones that I've had planned. Because I love this game, goddammit, and I'm gonna info dump one way or another. So I found out about Rumbleverse. I forget what I was doing at the time, but I get a Discord message from my friend Brandon asking me to play a game called Rumbleverse. His pitch to me was that it was a battle royale, but with 3D melee combat being its focus. This has changed a little bit with the advent of Nakara, but still kind of a rare sight. So this was one of the first times in a long time that I actually logged into the Epic Store to play a game from there. After getting me started with some of the basics and we did a few rounds of duos, I was hooked on Rumbleverse. A lot of the gameplay that you're going to be seeing is of me and him, with the occasional solos that I did alone.
He teched that.
For a while, this was our go-to game when we weren't playing emulated games through Parsec. Occasionally, we even got into top 2s and even won. Heck, on days when I was alone, I would actually jump into solos just because I found the game really enjoyable even on my own. But what exactly makes this 3D platform fighter so enjoyable? The gameplay. Much like the juicy taste of a raw onion, Rumbleverse has layers. Are you ready for the first info dump? Okay, so first you have your basic attacks, right? Strike, which on the ground is a 3-button combo, but in the air is an elbow drop. You can also charge your strike to stun an enemy. Power, which without special moves can only be achieved through a running start drop kick with the strike button. Vicious, which are strong attacks that can be a ground or AoE ground pound and can break through your opponent's blocks. Your vicious button can also be an alternative combo ender with a roundhouse kick or a lifting uppercut? These, however, count as strikes and will lose that vicious status. These lay the groundwork to understanding attack priority, which can be illustrated by following the order that you see in the pause screen. In direct contact with one another, basic vicious will always be the lowest priority, being outperformed by strike, both of them being outperformed by power. If both you and your opponent uses the same type of attack, you will clash and no damage will be dealt. This is of course assuming that you don't constantly whiff your attacks, like the scrub lord that you are, or at least that I am. I suck pretty bad at this game, to be honest. Like, I stuck with it, but good lord, was I bad. These basic attacks alone are arguably enough to play mind games with the other player bases. But there's more. We can go even deeper. Special moves are equipable items that you learn from magazines and can be assigned with either your right or left bumper. These moves are higher damage, unique, and higher priority than your basic attacks, with the exception of power. Power specials and the power dropkick have the same priority and will clash. For the kinds of special moves that are available, you've got quite the selection. Izuna drops, anime style hand slap, uppercuts, spin to win, the most football-ass tackles I've ever seen, dive kick, and of course look out. This adds a nice dynamicism to each player/bot that you encounter, as there is no way of knowing what moves your opponent has until you use them. Of course, you can't just spam specials and run forever. Running, using specials, and dodging all take stamina. If it gets too low, you will become winded, and if you are attacked while winded, you'll get the stamina break status, which makes you vulnerable to one free hit. An important resource management part of the game, as the rarity of the moves takes up more stamina the rarer it is. This might make it worth using lower rarity versions of moves just to save on that stamina. In addition to special moves, you also have weapons that you can pick up. Weapons are the third highest on the priority totem pole, just below power. All weapons have durability linked to their rarity. Some weapons are throwable only, like the football, but melee-focused weapons will typically have a strike move/combo and vicious attack. Most melee weapons can be stored in a 4-item slots along with the consumables. Each weapon type has its own attack pattern, with one of the rarest attack patterns that you'll see being of the keybat, which is just a homage to the Keyblade from Kingdom Hearts. Like, look at this animation, it's almost 1-to-1. And finally, supers. As you attack opponents, collect stars, or even drink consumable mousels, that builds your super meter. Once full, you can activate a superstar mode where you'll do more damage and heal passively while you're in that state. If you use a vicious attack while in this state, you will perform a super move where it is very similar to an Izuna drop, where the higher the height, the higher the damage you'll do. If you don't go into superstar mode while having a full bar, you'll get a second win and be revived for that match with a lower amount of health. You could say that you're down, but you're not out. Just all of these elements alone make for an engaging gameplay. The focus on melee means that typically you won't be one-shot out of the gate, with rare exception, and you get a sense of footsies and mind games that fighting gamers have been talking about for a long time. But of course we have the Battle Royale's bread and butter, consumables. Consumables in Rumbleverse come in 2 main flavors, stat pods and everything else. Stat pods are permanent stat increases for the match. The powders boost arms, legs, and core, or damage, stamina, and health by 10%. This is how you go about making builds for your match that you're probably not going to stick to 100% because, I'm going to be honest, most of the time I just grabbed whatever I could find. Though many players favor damage and health for obvious reasons, hit hard and take more hits, investing in stamina can help you avoid stamina breaks more often, especially if you're planning on grabbing those higher stamina using moves. Other consumables are for healing and resource management. You have multiple foods that can heal your health in certain ways. For instance, Squatch Chicken heals you for 300 for 1 bite, while the Big Chicken does 300 per bite for 2 bites. However, Macho's is 100 per bite, but is faster than eating the chicken, and it kinda works out to having slightly more health in the long run. Energy drinks boost your stamina regeneration for a short time for those longer runs and special combos. You'll find these items in crates that will spawn at the beginning of the match, and additionally spawn each time the ring shrinks. These also have a rarity of going from wood to silver to gold to heavy locked crates that can only be unlocked with the keybat. Higher the rarity, usually the better chances of getting good loot. But wait, I'm not done yet. There's one more mechanic we need to talk about. You could say they have their picks. Now, the priority-centered gameplay was good enough on its own, but the developers went the extra mile and added one more detail to the game. Perks are unlocked as you deal damage to others in the match. Once you've done enough damage, you gain one of these passive abilities for the match for your customizable guy. These can be as simple as higher damage on certain moves, healing while you stand still for long enough, only for half match HP, to adding an extra attack when you drop kick, and the distance that your basic vicious will go. There's even one where you can hypercube items that you normally wouldn't be able to fit into your inventory, like crates. And with the ability of randomly being locked behind how much damage you do, it does incentivize a less campy playstyle. I mean, I was still a coward when I came across most people, but I probably engaged more because of this mechanic than not. Okay, so that's how it plays, but what's the actual gameplay in action like? Well...
Oh, unfortunate.
With slapstick cartoon violence,
When they drop you.
matched with wrestling spectacle in a battle royale setting, it's about as chaotic as you expect. Matches start as all good battle royale games start, with getting shot out of a cannon. Which then you need to decide on where you're going to land. Decisions. Do you go for the areas where there's typically more higher quality items at the risk of starting fights with players right away?
or do you go elsewhere? Do you go for the strat of leaving the ring sub 10 seconds to get high rarity loot boxes? Doesn't always end well, but it's an option.
I'm out. You're out?
What you'll find out real quick, especially as the ring closes in on you, you will rarely be in one-on-one fights. And even on one-on-ones, you can still get in over your head depending on how prepared you are. In situations where you'll be facing off against more than one player at a time, this is where your game sense needs to kick in. And decide if you're going to watch from the shadows, engage, disengage, engage from a high height for massive damage, calculate how likely it is for the opponents around you to team up on you, or teaming with you to take down another. Or it's just a field of chaos, both are suitable. I've often equated Rumbleverse to be in the same vein of Smash Brothers. A game that's fairly easy to understand, you don't need to memorize long string of button combinations. It's pretty accessible in that sense. Even if you don't know the game as in-depth as I did, you'll probably get some KOs here and there. But with Mastery, as with most fighting games, Mastery unlocks some wild bull. I was at the end of many pro players getting a one-up on me. I mean, just look at this clip. The match barely started, and he straight up dunked me like I was balling. But man, it is very aesthetically pleasing bullshit. But you know, you don't have to do this alone. Duos and teams. Duos was the main reason I started playing the game in the first place. My friend Brandon and I would play this game quite often while it was still live. I don't know how he came across this game, but it was basically like, hey, you want to play this new game? Yeah, sure. Special interest unlocked! Duos and other team modes are very similar to single matches with some key changes. Your health is reduced slightly. Bigger the team, less health you have jointly. In addition to that, you have smaller max pod stats that you can get, from 10s to 8 on duos, and on quads it's as low as 4. You and your teammate have the ability to revive each other if you get down. The revive timer gets lowered with each subsequent down. I wanna say to a minimum of 5 seconds. If you are both down at the same time, your team is out of the match. The Superstar Revive cannot be activated unless one of you are out of the match. If both team members are still alive or even down, it's probably better to just use the Superstar mode. You get a buff, and if you're still alive, your friend should be able to revive you, and if not, hopefully you have enough game sense to save your buddy.
Engage with them so you can run. Oh no, I'm dead.
There's also pseudo-friendly fire when you team up. Your attacks will hit each other, there will be knockback, but instead of doing health damage, it will actually affect your partner's stamina. This leads to moments where just because you can't hurt them directly, things like this can happen.
Oh, I did not mean to do that. I am so sorry.
You killed me.
Wait.
That was added to the list of things that I will never live down in all my life. But also, if you're good at coordinating with each other, you can get some sick combos like this.
What? Got him. Oh.
It's all about positioning. Always has been. One of the funnier parts about Brandon and I's dynamic is that you can kind of see the difference in our fighting game styles. Brandon is very analytical and wanting to try new combos that he's seen on Twitch. Very much a brains type player. Definitely goes in and like laughs. And then you have my stupid ass that is best described as hot, with boiled downs to vibes. This makes me unpredictable, but
Nice dodge.
I don't win often. This sounds like a buddy movie of some kind. Two different fighting-based players getting in each other's way. That's how it felt a lot of the time with our matches. And we would play this game together at least once a week, while also trying out other games. This should be our routine. And then the third impact happened. I remember it so clearly. It was almost 6 to 7 months in. There was a Christmas event, and that I just missed, I guess. That there were snowballs that I never got to use. I'm kind of upset about that, I'm not gonna lie. And we were getting into Season 2 with the mystery of Low-Key Key. And then it was announced that it was ending. February 28th, 2023, the game's servers will be shut down. shutting down when there were like 5 seasons planned and probably had lore. I'm 95% sure we were gonna fight Cthulhu, guys. In a fucking in 2023. Probably 2024 for that matter. Most of the footage that I recorded for these last 3 videos were taken during the last month of Rumbleverse, which was a year ago now. What the fuck is time? In fact, most of the footage in the map exploration video was on the last day, because I had a feeling that I would be one of the few people to like document some of the like tiny details of that map. I found a shell horn. I have no idea how many people knew about this thing. Why did it shut down? The best that I can find is that it might not have been bringing in the amount of users that Epic was hoping for, and there was just not enough money being spent on the game, and then they pulled the plug. Iron Galaxy also refunded those who paid for the Battle Pass and in-store items, like I did. I wanted to support the game, okay? So, not only did they probably took a loss, any revenue that they did generate was completely reversed. Absolutely based of Iron Galaxy to do this. They didn't need to, but they definitely earned goodwill by doing so. But in a world of battle royales being so popular, why did this one not seem to land? I think the most likely criticism that's not just on the art style for some stupid reason, perhaps it's the fact that the core game is an arena fighter that might have been a barrier for some. I say this because with most battle royales, they will give you one life, one shot, one moment to get some KOs in a match. Then when you get KO'd or died, you will need to queue up for a new match, which could take a few minutes. Have a few of those in a row, and I can see why people aren't as stubborn as I was, and would drop the game.
This is the... Alright. They might uninstall after that.
I almost wish that they could have some different game modes outside of the standard Battle Royale format. For instance, one game that I've been playing on and off is Darkroad Blade Point that, in addition to its Battle Royale, has a more traditional, timed, free-for-all game mode with respawning that allows you to play with the mechanics in a much more faster-paced environment. Now, if you were to transfer this to Rumbleverse, you'd probably need to mess with how the KOs and the free-for-all interacts with like perks and the stat pod systems, just to get it right. Say you lose one perk and drop the last 3 stat pods, for an example. Or you just, maybe those are more limited in that time setting, I don't know. I'm not a game designer, but I do think that it would help in onboarding players. As well, the Playground was an excellent tutorial hub. It would be nice to have a middle point between the Playground sandbox and the Battle Royale matches. This, of course, is just a guess. Leave a comment below if you felt similar or the opposite, or if you had some other idea that might have been nice to see in Rumbleverse. I kind of want to hear about what other people think about this. Also, I'm gonna pull a Ross Scott here real quick and get you thinking about dead games a little bit. Leave a comment if you have any idea about how likely it would be for a Battle Royale that ran on private servers. Like, in theory, it could be possible to have a lot of these live service games have private servers provide someone that could reverse engineer, or if a company would even be based enough to like package some server software. My main concern is how resource intensive it could be, as there are many players in a lot of these battle royale games at a time, and the matchmaking system is not like the traditional you find a server you like and you join it, right? I don't know, it's just a thought that I've had for a while now. Hey, Future Neems here. It turns out that Project KO was a thing that was attempting to do just this before the development got shut down. Yes, I know that technically the files are out there, but it still stands that the project is effectively dead. I made a video on it, and maybe you can check it out after this. Just saying. I guess it's best that I wrap this up, huh? I think I've talked a bit too long. There does seem to be a possibility that Rumbleverse could come back. The letter to Rumbleverse users mentioned that they had hoped that shutting down would not be the end. They were looking around before they got shut down from Epic for a new home for the game, but the shutdown was so abrupt that there was just not enough time to plan that ahead. Thank you to the Jeff Guspin show and Dave Long for revealing that information, so it's possible that the game might come back. I'm hoping so. Though the only question is, if Rumbleverse returns, would crossplay return?
Yeah.
Crossplay was part of Epic's partnership. They're kind of known for this, I guess. It's not like it's impossible for them to do it on their own, but they would likely need to start from the ground up if they found a new publisher.
They're on me.
I guess time will only tell if we can go back to Capital City. I hope so. I really want to play with some of my stream friends.
Leon,
Yeah.
did you see the Garfield?
Yeah.
I love
You know, just to see what happens. Oh well. Play me out, Skip Leggard.
We're about to begin. Grab those protein shakes, protein pods, and if it's your cheat day, a protein appetizer sampler platter with extra protein nacho. The energy on the barge today is unparalleled. Today's match is bound to be incredible. And it's on. Anything can happen now. Watch your back.
Oh god.
Oh crap.
They're
Gotcha.
back. If you thought down equaled out, you need to check your math.
That is awesome. Oh! What are you doing? Oh.
This team has incredible chemistry. Could their own buddy cop show be far behind?
Thing where this stuff in where this thing in Zelda.
Yeah. Oh, I did not mean to do that. I was
dude.
Hey, if you made it to the end of this video, I just wanted to say thank you. I very much appreciate it. Like, it's a cheesy ending outro, but like, you gotta understand, this ended up taking like way longer than I thought it would. Mostly due to life shenanigans, like my job changing, my trip, me getting the virus that I can't say on YouTube without getting struck, I think. I don't know if that's still a thing. But with this third and final video done, I can finally focus on something else, hopefully shorter, that doesn't have like 21 hours of footage I gotta keep skimming through because I decided, what's organization for? I really gotta learn to pre-plan my videos better. Hopefully the next video doesn't take 6 months to make. Also, special thanks to One Bad Bush and Aeth8 on Reddit for helping me get the Skip Later Day voice lines. I really wanted that to make that like Rebel Taxi-esque video montage that he does. And I just think it really ties this trilogy together. I'm also going to be releasing that part of the video separately because I'm proud of the job I did on it, and I would like more eyeballs on it, so you don't have to watch like a... Oh god, it's almost like 23 minutes, right? Something like that? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go to sleep now. I'll see you guys if I wake up. I know what I said.